Hi,
Hi,
we are Emilian,
and Silviana,
the founders of Feel and Grow Rich project.
and the authors of the upcoming book called Feel and Grow Rich.
It is great honor to introduce you to
Leesa
Leesa
Landry,
Landry.
Thank you.
thank you too, head of business coaching at Black Car Books, founder and director of the Gift of Divorce, Rediscover, Reinvent, Revitalize.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about your work?
Sure. Well, thank you so much for inviting me to be on here. It's an honor.
Thank you.
Let me just tell you a little bit about my background. So I'm trained as a psychotherapist, like an expressive art psychotherapist. I get to play with paint and sound and all kinds of fun stuff with my clients. And what happened was, as I was working with my clients, I started to attract a lot of people who were going through a divorce separation. And it reminded me of what I went through when my relationship ended and what my parents went through. So I decided, you know what, this is my tribe. This is who I want to work with. So I decided I was going to work with these people. The problem was, they didn't know who I wanted to work with them. So along this time, I found Black Card Books, and they taught me, you know, if I use a book, I could get the attention of my followers or the people I want to work with. So I I became a author with Black Card Books, and then I learned so much from them, and I wanted to keep learning, that there was an opportunity to work with Black Card Books. And I went on that journey, and I did one thing at one time, and then it ended up I became the coach, the head of coaching at Black Card Books. So that's why I have the two careers. I have my personal one, helping people to rediscover their life, to plan their life, what kind of life they want to lead after they have a divorce. It's a tragic thing that happens in people's lives. So it's helping them to create the life they truly want to live. And then I help through Black Card Books how to help people, how they can help people with their books, so they can build their tribe and build their followers.
Amazing.
Wow.
Thank you.
Shall we start the interview?
Oh, I'm ready.
What are your top 3 priorities in life?
My top 3 priorities. Top 3 is, well, I know what my top one should be, but I'm going to say my top one, and I'll explain that. My top priority is my family. Family is most important. You know, if you don't have your family, you know, you don't really have success in life. My second top priority, and that's why it should really be the switch, it should be switched, and this is for everyone, is myself, taking time for myself. And we really should put ourselves first before anything else, because when we take care of ourselves, we give ourselves energy to be able to help our families and to help our careers. So, but I do have a little trouble sometimes putting the family first before my needs. And then, of course, it's trying to balance my career. I'm very driven, but also to have balance in my life, to enjoy the friendships, to have a healthy, eat healthy, and things like that. That would be my top 3 priorities.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
What are the habits that lead to your success?
Some of the habits that lead to my success, you know, one thing I definitely recommend for everyone is, we can think about what we want, but until we actually write it down, you're going to see it come into fruition. So write down what my goals are, or my vision. First of all, what's the vision I want? And then taking steps to work backwards. One of the things I do is, with Black Card Books, is I host, it's called the Focus Builder System. And what we do is we write our quarterly goals, what we want to achieve, And then we visit it, we break it down monthly, and then we meet each week to see if we are meeting those goals. Because as you know, as entrepreneurs, you can be pulled in so many directions and there's a shiny new thing to try out. So it's very important, if you want to reach your goals, to write it down and actually see the steps. And when you write it down, you can actually see if you're doing it or not. So that's one of the things I would, that's a habit, a good success habit. And giving, I really have to say, giving time for making sure that you do take time for yourself. You can get overwhelmed, you can get burnt out. So you do have to schedule time where you just have a free day, where you have a play day, where you are visiting your family or you are visiting friends. I do feel that's really important. It is, as an entrepreneur, it's go, 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 and you got to put a lot of work in, but you do need to take time for yourself and just calm your brain down sometimes.
Yes. Do you know that we tend to become those who we admire? Who do you admire the most?
Who do I admire the most? Who do I admire the most? You know, who I admire is, in general, I'm going to say I love people who take action. You know, as we know, Tony Robbins, if you're familiar with Tony Robbins, he's great at taking action. Again, not everyone knows him, but the founder of Black Card Books, Jerry Robert, he is amazing at taking action. He comes up with an idea and he goes for it. And I've learned so much from him, because what we tend to do, I'm generalizing, but I think a lot of us, we want to make it perfect, right? We got to do all these everything, make it perfect, and then present it. And what I've learned is just go for it and we'll fix it along the way. But I will also say I like Maya Angelou. She was a poet and a writer, just her wisdom, and she's very inspirational to me. And I think her words and how she relates to our spirit and how our health, that's really important.
Impressive, yes. What keeps you awake at night?
Oh, what keeps me awake at night? My to-do list sometimes, but I think really it's you know, why are we, when we're as entrepreneurs, we have to ask ourselves why we are doing this. What's our why, right? So you know, my why is being able to, you know, yes, it's nice to make money. And of course, right, we want to pay our bills and we want to take a trip, and that's nice. But if I kept asking myself, is it the money? It's really more than that. It's being able to provide for my family. If anything ever happened to them, you know, if I had to take them to the hospital or something, do I have, you know, the means to do that? So I think what keeps me up at night is, am I doing enough? Am I doing all I can? Time passes by so quick. So am I on track for what I'm supposed to be doing?
Yes.
What advice would you give to someone starting out?
You know, I kind of already touched on these themes, but I think it's very important is time really does go by. So do write down what that dream is, what that vision is, and take and get out of your own way. You know, I wish when I was younger, I had a mentor. Maybe that's another thing. Get a mentor, find out someone who's doing what you're doing and skip a lot of the steps. I know I've done it the hard way. I've tried to save money and I can do this. And it slows me down. It also, my mental, sometimes that part of us doesn't want to grow. And so it's going to come up with excuses to hold us back. So I think the biggest thing is know that you are powerful, know that you can achieve your dreams with the right tools, with the right guidance, and get out of your own way. Because if you really want it with the right strategies, and the right tools, you will believe it, or you will achieve it. So I said a few things. So that's 3 things I said.
Excellent.
What was something that you had to give up to get where are you today?
And that's where I've struggled with my family, is sometimes I felt that, and to be honest, sometimes I felt like I've had to have given up in the past, time. I could do more things with my kids. Maybe I was doing enough, but as a mother, you have that guilt. And so I have to say, in the last 2 years, I've changed. That's why I say I put my family first, is because I felt that it's not that I still spent time with them, but I think I wanted to spend more quality time. And in the past, I wasn't. And that was a learning lesson for me.
Amazing. What is the story behind your success?
It is really just, you know what, whether you take giant steps or you take baby steps, it's taking steps. And I'm always moving forward. Now there's days, well, I'll camp out at the mountain and I might not do anything for a week, but I always keep moving forward. So I think knowing, because I write down the goal, because I know what I want to achieve, because I keep moving in that direction and I'm clear where I want to go, that's what has added to my success.
This is great. What mistake have you made along the way?
And again, I think I've kind of touched on that. So, well, okay. So first of all, sometimes spending too much time on work, right? Life is more than work, and you can get burnt out and you can miss wonderful life events. So there are times, don't get me wrong, sometimes you do sacrifice certain things at times to achieve a goal. And that's okay. It's just that if you do it too much and you're losing your balance in life, it's not good. But sorry, what was the question again? I lost track.
What mistakes have you made along the way?
Okay, so yeah, sorry. So maybe putting my priorities on something when I needed to even it out. And I think just, I would say, sometimes just not believing in yourself. We're all humans. We all go through that. And sometimes, you're not even, you're kind of aware of it, but you're not. On one side, on one level, like, no, I know that I'm confident. I'll do this. But if you really listen, and you can know if you really listen, you know that you self-sabotage yourself. And how you know that is, are you procrastinating? I've procrastinated a lot, because why am I not doing something I need to do? Because maybe there was a belief that I thought I wasn't good enough. I was an imposter. So that's how you self-sabotage. And so I think that's how I would answer that question.
Excellent.
Yeah. What did you have for breakfast today?
I had 2 eggs and some rye toast and a glass of water, and I have to have my coffee.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Good. If you could start all over again, what would you do differently?
I've always wrote out my vision, but what I would do differently is get a mentor. And earlier, and stop trying to do everything myself. I can do that. Why am I going to get someone to do that? Like, I know how I want it. So I would do it myself, which was fine. But then the time, even though I could do it myself, the time I wasted when I could have paid someone else. And there's different ways of doing it. You could pay someone else, you could do a barter system, but I think there's certain things that if you really want to get ahead, you got to know where your time is. So where you make it, are you losing money by spending time on doing this? I have to say one thing. When I was doing my website, you know, yeah, I did that, but you go down a rabbit hole. You can see how you can go deeper and deeper and deeper. And I should have just gave someone else the tools to do that.
How do you push through your worst times?
Well, I have to say a really valuable lesson or an awareness I became aware of is that it will pass. So there are, of course, everyone has some very dark days, but I allow myself, I allow myself to have those days. Usually the longest it will be is one day. Maybe it's, yeah, really one day, a few hours or one day. And I allow myself to have it because then I know I'm feeling awful right now and I'm down on myself or whatever those thoughts are. But I know that it will pass, and I have to go through that. We can't. We are humans. It's an up and down. You know, life is up and down. This journey of entrepreneurship is up and down. So allow yourself to feel that pain or to be bummed out. It's okay. Just don't make it last for a week. Give it a time limit. Like, okay, I'm gonna feel sorry for myself for the next 3 hours. I'm going to watch my video and I'm going to eat popcorn, and that's okay. You do need to do that. But then know that the next day or that evening or whatever, get back on track.
If you would have words microphone for a few minutes, what would you say to the world?
If I could have a microphone
Yes.
for I would say time goes fast. You know, when we were kids, it's so long. The day is so long, but as we become adults, and especially if you have children in your life, whether they're your own or nieces or nephews, you actually see time passing by. You see them aging. So don't let life pass you by. You know, don't lead your life. Don't let life lead you, lead your life. And we only, in this body anyway, we only live once in this body. So what is it that you want to do? What is it you want to achieve? And go for it. Try it. At least try it. That's what I would say.
Yeah, excellent. How did you extend or expand your paradigm or belief to achieve or to fully fulfill your dreams?
Well, that goes back to those mentors, right? When you're listening, I mean, again, Tony Robbins is an amazing mentor, amazing motivator. And he's more than a motivator, right? What he says makes sense. So listening to, you know, going on YouTube even, and just listening to those listening to those people who inspire you, that's what propels me to move forward.
Yes. How can people find you?
They can go to www.thegiftofdivorce.com, or they can always send me an email at Leesa@thegiftofdivorce.com. And Leesa is Leesa.
Thank you for accepting to participate in this interview. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.